Welcome back. Well, holding steady for the mid-cap index, up around 0.7%. Let's get, in fact, talking to one company which is buzzing around. It's up around 3% Morepen Laboratories. The stock has performed quite well on a year-to-date basis as well. It's up around 70%. Sushil Suri, the MD of the company, now joins in to discuss the business with us. Mr. Suri, hi. Thank you very much for joining in. Well, coincidentally, you just announced that you've received approval for an anti-allergy drug, which is basically Allegra in the US markets. It's quite a genericized drug, if I'm not mistaken, in the US market already. It's already an over-the-counter product. There are lots of other generics available or substitutes available. So it might just be quite a diluted opportunity?
Yes, Ekta, that since it is already generic, the advantage is that we start immediate export. So we have got approval as a second source. So normally it takes 3 to 5 years for the product to get approved and get exports for the company to start exports. Now, since it is already approved, we are a second vendor. We are already dealing with that company. Validation batches have been done, and we are waiting for the validation approval. So immediate business is there. So we have been doing this product since last 12 years now. And of course, we already had a DMF, but we were not having any export to the US market. So this is a big step in the US market. And whatever little capacities we have now, so that those capacities will be doubled up and US market export would start. So this is a big opportunity for us for the US market, particularly when we are consolidating the anti-allergy position. We already have loratadine, desloratadine, and of course, montelukast. So Fexofinadine is one large molecule which everybody does. Even in India, if you might have seen, there is a combination of Fexofinadine with montelukast, combination with the levocetirizine, another combination. So any company whom we deal, so they need a full basket. So that is, it completes our basket, and it's a large molecule. It's like 20 to 30 tons per month, which is the present supplies. It may go up to 50 tons per month. So we will increase our capacities, and we are targeting 10% market share over a period of 3 years.
Okay.
Hi, Mr. So this is, I would say, yes.
Okay. So congratulations on completing your basket of offerings. What are you, targeting in terms of exports? And will this, now that you have, entered the US market with Allegra, will it open up other geographies for you?
That's right. We are already doing many other countries, but most of the countries, everybody expects, okay, what is that? Do we have what USFDA approval? So USFDA approval is like a green card. So you can walk into whether European market or Chinese market, or even to that extent, even Bangladesh market. Everybody expects USFDA approval. So this USFDA approval is our green card for all the markets. So that is, I was saying that export will increase. And when I'm saying export will increase, obviously the profit margins go up, EBITDA of the company would go up. And as you would realize that over the last period of 30-35 years, we have built up a good volume, good export, but US export was very low. So for the company, it is an important milestone that we have more and more product approval for the US market. We got, this is the 5th US FDA approval we have got, loratadine, desloratadine, then we have got montelukast, we got atorvastatin, and this is the 5th in a row. And the 4 of them are in the anti-allergic category. And of course, atorvastatin is, everybody knows that it's a Lipitor and the cholesterol-reducing drug. So this gives a good headway to us. And the interesting point is that the same old customer which we have been dealing with last 10 years, so they are reworking with us. They are ready to work with us again and again. And for US FDA point of view also, we had a very smooth run so far. And you would appreciate that many companies in the country have not been very, I would say, up to the date as far as FDA guidelines are concerned. Thankfully, last 30 years, we don't have any critical remarks or any major deviations from US FDA. We have always scored very well in that. So we are winning, I would say, on both ends, US FDA also, and from the customer relationship point of view also.
Okay.
Of course, you're right.
Sure.
The market is
Mr. Suri, let's move to other segments now. I just wanted to get a sense in terms of how exactly your medical devices segment is doing, because that grew 36% in the previous quarter, and this was X of COVID. I don't think you sold many COVID-related medical device products last quarter. What is it looking like this quarter? Are you sustaining this growth?
Look, I think everybody understands and everybody thinks that it is COVID related. Like you rightly said, that 36% growth in the quarter and 88% growth in the 6 months. And COVID contribution, of course, in the first quarter, there was a little bit of oxygen concentrators and oximeters, but that doesn't count much. But overall, there's a 45% increase in the glucometers and another 44% increase in BP monitors. And this now, since it is happening quarter after quarter, and it is last 6 quarters in a row, we are doing more than 40-50% growth. So more or less, it is established that this is a changing habits of people, and people are now getting used to doing home testing. Of course, home testing was there earlier also, but our doctors were naturally not recommending. Now, more and more doctors are asking patients to sit at home, maybe do the testing, and patients are also getting used to it. And we don't see that this growth coming down, but obviously we will not get 70-80% growth quarter on quarter. But we have healthy numbers for the 2 months in a row now. But let's see how the quarter closes. But main point is that from a marketing point of view, we have to spend less. We don't have to advertise much. And the second is that more and more people are, I would say, using home devices at home, sitting at home. It's not only about BP monitor, glucometer, whether it is vacuum cleaners or kitchen appliances or all these gadgets that come up. So we are part of that, I would say.
Okay, all right. Maybe you're a part of the shifting trend of being more independent in terms of a lot of things that you do. But Mr. Suri, I just wanted to end this conversation by asking you what the eventual plan is with the medical devices as well as the OTC segment of the company. Both of them are in separate arms. Are you raising funds? Are you probably looking at a separate listing? And give us a quick timeline as well.
Like you said, that this devices business has already been hived off into a separate company, and OTC is already a separate company. So certainly we are expecting some capital event in both the things. Of course, Dr. Morepen being a market darling, it may be more of an IPO candidate in the coming times. But for medical devices, certainly we are looking for a private equity play. So wherein we can grow with some partners and maybe approach the market at a later date. But more important is that now is the opportunity. Indian medical devices market has opened up, and it is high time that we should capitalize on it and unlock the value. Because the medical devices business itself, while sitting in a parent company, it is not showing its true colors and its true value. But on the other hand, the opportunities are much larger. No doubt the opportunities there in the API segment also, but we see that devices has much more opportunities. So we want to become the manufacturing hub for the medical devices in the coming times in India. And of course, everybody wants to shift their sources from China to India. So that's where we see big opportunity if we get our CE certification, and we can start export also. We have already started working on the CE certification. Once we start export of medical devices from India, so I think that's going to be a huge thing. That's how we wanted to separate, because it needs a separate skill sets and it needs separate capital.
All right, Mr. Suri, thanks very much for joining in. By the way, throughout the lockdown, we've been cooking so much that our household has become a regular user of Bernol, which is, one of their OTC drugs. So yeah, I don't know what we would have done without it. But anyway, so that's Morepen Labs for you, getting another foothold into the US market through Allegra exports. A quick break. On the other side, we'll have Prakash Gab.